Hello and welcome back to my channel. And guys, today we are going to cover a very important another interview question that is being asked. And the question is like, what is a singleton class and how to create a singleton class, and is this pattern a thread safe or not, right? So these are the three things for which we are going to cover onto this particular lecture. But this is the first time what I am going to do is that instead of going through the theory part, we'll first do the demo part as well. So first we are going to do the demo so that you are able to understand what this theory is all about and why this particular theory is even required. But the way I will teach you guys what is a singleton for clearing your interviews, I mean at the end of the lecture you would really say that you will remember that example as well, right? So this is the way I'm going to teach you what is a singleton class and how to create a singleton class, right? And what is the importance of creating a singleton class. So only these three things topic we are going to cover today, right? So let's do one thing. This is a particular class that I have created over here. So first try to understand the scenario that I'm going to cover over here, right? Let's say we are simply Indians, right? And let's say we do have a very large amount of gold places over here where a lot of gold mining is being done, right? So let's say this is a particular class that I've created and named as Indian gold mining class, right? And in our, since we are dealing with our country India, so in our particular country there is one city named as, just taking an example. There is one city named as Delhi over here. We all know that. There is another city over here which is named as, let's say Maharashtra, right? So these are two different cities, which India, our country, is normally having as of now at this point of time, right? Let's say onto these particular area, or let's say in onto our particular this country. Our country India has a lot of land, a lot of places where a lot of gold mining can be done, right? So what is happening over here? Let's say there comes a country named as America, right? I'm just taking a very weird example so that you are able to understand first what is the need of this, singleton class. Let's say America comes over here and America creates its own object of our Indian gold mining class, right? Let's say American Navy SEAL. Let's say I'm just taking an example so that you're able to understand, and even this lecture is being, gets end. So let's say America came, this country came, and to a particular piece of land on for our country, they started doing some sort of gold mining with the help of their American Navy SEAL. Let's say, although these things are not deployed for these kind of work, but I'm just taking an example. I can take any name over here, right? So American Navy SEAL is, we have created an object of land of India, let's say Indian gold mining, and what America has done, America has created an object, right? And with the help of their object, they are going to, do some sort of gold mining. So let's say if I just print it out something over here, please pay attention whatever I am doing over here, because in the end, everything I'm going to connect each and every dot over here, right? So with this particular object, they can do some sort of, gold mining into city one, and with the help of these two objects, with their own Navy SEALs, they can also do gold mining onto this city 2 as well. If I just run it, so onto Delhi and Maharashtra, American Navy SEALs are do some sort of gold mining in Delhi and some sort of gold mining in Maharashtra, right? Let's say they plan to deploy their para commandos as well. Yes, because this is America, this is a very big country. They are deploying their para commandos as well. Let's say I'm just giving a very weird example, para commandos, right? So with the help of these variable, they have also gone to these particular cities, Delhi and Maharashtra, and they have also started doing some sort of gold mining. Country is our, right? But America is deploying their own resources, their own objects, and with the help of these objects, it is making use of our cities and doing some gold mining, let's say Delhi and Maharashtra, right? This is what these objects are printing. And are they same? Try to print the hash code, right? I hope you guys are able to understand where I am heading over here, right? If not, just please wait for a moment. Dot, let's say hash code. Why I'm printing the hash code? So that I can show you guys that these two are different entities created by a country named as America. Let's say I'm printing the hash code, which clearly states that if both these objects are having a different hash code, it means that these objects are totally different. They are occupying different space in in your Java memory, and every time an object is being getting created, some sort of memory is required. You know, in Java, some sort of memory is given. So for this particular example, let's say if America is creating two different objects, let's say American Navy SEAL and para commandos, they have to give some money. You can refer memory as money as of now, right? So America has to give some money to these different entities so that they can do some sort of gold mining in Delhi and Maharashtra, these objects, and these objects are doing some sort of gold mining onto this particular area, Delhi and Maharashtra, and this is their hash code. I hope I have made some sense over here till now, right? Again, what there is one more country over here. Let's say, allow me to take the example of China as well. This is what China has also started to do, right? I'm just copy pasting some of the code over here, right? And instead of this, I'm just changing the name. Let's say Chinese Army, and let's say Chinese Navy. Just I'm taking this example so that you are able to understand. Again, I'm reiterating, it is going to be a very very uh, simple logic, but people are explaining onto different areas into in a very difficult manner that it becomes very difficult for you to understand, and even to visualize as well, right? The Chinese ARMY, right? This is what China has also started doing. So these Chinese army has also taken a piece of land from over India, creating their own object, allocating their own memory spaces over here in our country, and with the help of their objects, they are or let's say with the help of these objects, they have started doing gold mining onto these particular cities, right? I hope till now we are doing some sense. In the form of Java, I'm just creating an object of this class, right? And by creating an object of this class, what I am doing is that I'm accessing this class member data members over here, and this is a totally different class. But now we will talk everything in terms of this example, right? So America is using creating an object, and just trying to make use of different things over here, right? So this is what is happening, but country is our this is our country, India. America is creating its own two different objects. Let's say I'll explain everything in the end. America is creating its two different own objects, and trying to deploy its navy and and commandos onto our cities, so to do gold mining. Same thing China has also started doing. So we do not want this to happen. We really do not want this to happen as a country, as a nation. We do not want any other country to come to our land and deploy their own army and navy. Would you want it? Nobody would want it. Even Java also does not want it to happen in some places. So this is the reason. What we are going to do is that we are going to make this particular class, our country India, as a singleton class. And why we are going to do, you will immediately get the answer, right? So in order to do this particular thing, there are three steps. In order to make your country a little bit private, or to ensure the security of your company, you have to do some sort of efforts, right? So those efforts are totally divided into these three different ways, right? So I'll quickly tell you guys what I'm going to do is that. So first of all, just creating an object of this particular class. Let's say Indian object equals this. I'm just creating an object because this is the way how you are going to make your class a singleton class, right? And that object should be a stat of type static, right? We have created an object of this class, and this object should be of static in nature, right? Create an object of the class, and that should be static. Now create a constructor which should be private. So now again we are going to create a constructor of our class or our country, let's say, and this constructor is going to be a private one this time, not a public one. Okay, So this is what we are doing. We have defined a constructor over here as well, right? And the third thing that is required to be done is that, I create a method which is static and it should return an object of your current class. So I'm also going to create an object, let's say public, and it should be static. Let's say it is not, let's say any meaningful name, uh, get only part of Indian land, and onto this particular land, we are going to, uh, return Indian object. Let's say, we are returning only this Indian object so that everybody, gets this Indian object as well, right? And the return type should be of this particular class. Return type is missing, so right. So these are the three steps by which, guys, we can make a class as a singleton class. Firstly, we can create an object of the class, and that object should be static. I have created it over here, right? Secondly, create a constructor which should be private. Constructor is private. And now create a method which should be static. This method is, a static, and it should return the object of the class. So this method, if you call this method, it is going to return the object of our country. Let's say Indian object, right? And as soon as we did this, guys, right, as soon as we did it, see, something happened into both these countries. As soon as we made ourselves a little bit more secure, we did some sort of thing to make our class as a singleton class, the error started coming onto these two countries. America, there is also this kind of error showing. This China is also showing this kind of error, right? So these are the names of two classes. And why this error is coming and what kind of error is coming, please try to see this. It says that now this constructor is not even visible, which means that you cannot create an object in onto this particular fashion, right? Since we have made constructor as a private, so whenever you are going to call the constructor of this particular class, it will not be visible because this constructor is now private. If I make it public, then it will be visible, but now our constructor is totally private, so you would not be even allowed to make an object into this particular fashion. And if you want to make an object of that particular singleton class, it should be done on two different way, right? Class name dot Indian object, let's say. So this is how an object got created over here, right? In the same way, the object will be get created over here as well. See, now we are able to create objects of this particular class into this particular fashion, right? So now the objects are being getting created over here, and now if you run this, then it will run, right? But the we are still getting only one object of this particular class. Don't think that we are still able to create two different objects. These objects are not too different. Initially these were the different objects, let's say, right? But these, now this object is going to be the same, although their name is different, but they are the same. Let me print it out. So the China is erroring out. It's okay, fine. I'll just delete it as of now in this class. It's fine. Let's deal with this particular country as well, right? So see what is happening over here. You might think that you have created two different objects, but no, it is just the same object, because our class is now returning only single object, right? Nobody would be able to create, or any other country or any other classes, they would not be able to create multiple objects. See, it is the same object. If again you just try to mislead that we are deploying American Navy SEAL Para Commando and let's say some elite group, but still they are the same, just changing the name. Previously they were different. See, over here the hash code was different, but now everything is the same, which means that now we have restricted our singleton class in such a way, or sorry, or you can say that a singleton class has restricted other classes to create multiple objects, right? And why it has restricted? Because every time you create an object of a class, of this, let's say, of any class, some sort of memory is being getting wasted. This is the reason I gave an example over here. It says that if there are 500 classes creating an object of one single class, so 500 object would be getting created. That would be a sort of wastage. But over here we have done the same work with the help of same single object. Now I'm talking totally in the terms of Java coding language. This was a class. We created a a static and a static object over here. We created a private constructor, and we did created a method of static in nature, and that method is returning an object of this current class, right? Once you do this, no other class would be able to create multiple objects of this particular class, and this class is known as a singleton class. And these objects, they might seem there are two different ones, but their hash code is the same. They're pointing to the same memory location in the heap memory. So I hope I made some sense, and I think this is one of the best examples you can even give to someone in your interviews as well, or any other places, because it this thing will simply clear your logic. See, as I told you that there is one country, America, China, India, Japan, and number of classes of, let's say, country names. They are creating their own and they are utilizing our resources. So with the help of this example, you were able to think that countries are, why are they utilizing some of the resources, right? Because every time you create an object, some sort of memory is being getting wasted, or being getting utilized, or being getting assigned to some of the object or reference variable, right? So we do not want to do that. We wanted to make our class a singleton class, so that only one object is being getting returned, right? And it can also happen in case of some automation scenarios. If you are doing some sort of an automation, you may come across such kind of scenarios where you have to create a singleton class, right? So guys, I have given the demo, I think, in one of the most easiest way. I think you would be able to understand, but this lecture is not yet completed. We understood what is a singleton class. If you want to create only one object of your class, then such a class is a singleton class. And how to create it, I gave you one of the best examples which I could give at this point of time. And if somebody asks you that is this a singleton design pattern, it is thread safe, so as of now you can say that yes. And there are some other aspects of this particular lecture, that there is one concept known as singleton double check locking method, by which we can break a singleton. Somebody can ask you this question as well: what is a lazy loading concept in Java, or early loading in case with respect to singleton, and where actually it is being used. I'll try to cover each of these things into different language, sorry, into different upcoming lecture. But at this point of time, I hope I have cleared your doubt and concepts with respect to what is a singleton class. And this is the example. You can, I hope now it is a part of your memory as of now, because I connected it with our own country. So I hope you would be able to understand. If not, please let me know into the comment section. And very much thank you for your time, guys, and thank you for your patience. Thank you.